Neon lights bleeding through fog. That's all Maya saw before her vintage Canon hit the concrete. The underground art show in Brooklyn's warehouse district was packed with trust fund kids pretending to care about experimental photography. Maya wore her thrifted oversized black blazer over a white cropped tank and baggy cargo pants, Doc Martens scuffed from 3 years of subway stairs. Her hair was pulled back in a messy bun, silver hoops catching the red gallery lights. She'd spent 6 months on this portfolio. 6 months documenting grief through strangers' faces on the subway. Raw. Unfiltered. Real. And now her camera lay shattered because some guy in expensive streetwear wasn't watching where he was going. Are you serious right now? Maya dropped to her knees, hands shaking as she picked up pieces of glass. I'm sorry. His voice cut through the bass-heavy music. Deep. Tired. She looked up. He wore a black oversized hoodie under a camel-colored wool coat, designer jeans that probably cost more than her rent, and white high tops so clean they had to be fresh out the box. His dark hair fell across his forehead, and his eyes were this impossible shade of amber that looked almost gold under the warehouse lighting. Sorry doesn't fix my camera. He crouched down next to her, and she caught the scent of expensive cologne mixed with cigarette smoke. How much? Excuse me? For the camera. How much do I owe you? Maya stood, cradling the broken Canon like a dying bird. It's not about money. Everything's about money. He pulled out his phone. Give me your Venmo. You think you can just throw cash at this? Her voice cracked. This camera was my brother's. He died 2 years ago. It's the only thing I have left of him. The warehouse went quiet around them. Or maybe it just felt that way. His expression shifted. Something cracked behind those golden eyes. I didn't know. Of course you didn't. She turned to leave. Wait. His hand caught her wrist. Gentle. Desperate. Let me make this right. You can't. Then let me try. Maya stared at him. At this stranger who probably bought new cameras like other people bought coffee. At the way his fingers trembled slightly against her skin. Why do you care? He released her wrist, stepping back like he'd been burned. Because I know what it's like to lose something you can't replace. The crowd surged between them as someone famous walked in. Phones lifted. Voices rose. When Maya looked back, he was gone. She left the gallery 5 minutes later, camera pieces wrapped in her jacket, and almost missed the business card tucked into her coat pocket. Asher Kane. Digital artist. On the back, handwritten in sharp black ink, I owe you more than an apology. Meet me tomorrow. 3 p.m., the rooftop garden at Zinc Cafe. Please. Below it, a phone number. Maya stood under a flickering streetlight, rain starting to fall, and made the worst decision of her life. She texted, fine. 3 p.m., don't be late. 3 dots appeared immediately. Then, I won't. Thank you. Maya shoved her phone in her pocket and walked into the rain, not knowing she'd just invited a ghost into her life. The rooftop garden smelled like jasmine and rain-soaked earth. String lights twisted through iron trellises, and the Manhattan skyline cut sharp against the gray afternoon sky. Asher sat at a corner table wearing a black turtleneck and dark jeans, a leather jacket draped over the chair. His hair was pushed back this time, revealing the sharp angles of his face and the dark circles under his eyes. Maya wore her favorite vintage denim jacket over a black slip dress and Converse, minimal jewelry except for her brother's silver chain around her neck. She'd almost chickened out 12 times on the subway ride over. You came. He stood when she approached. You broke my camera. Least you can do is buy me overpriced coffee. She sat down without waiting for him to pull out her chair. He smiled. Barely. Fair. They ordered. Awkward silence stretched between them like a rope about to snap. So what do you actually do? Maya asked. Besides destroy people's lives? Digital art. NFTs, mostly. Some gallery work. NFTs. She couldn't hide her judgment. So you're one of those crypto people. I know how it sounds. Do you? Asher leaned forward, elbows on the table. Look, I get that you hate me right now. I don't hate you. I don't know you enough to hate you. Then let me fix that. He pulled out his phone, slid it across the table. This is what I do. Maya looked at the screen. Digital paintings exploded across the display. Dark, haunting, beautiful. Faces twisted in agony and ecstasy. Cityscapes drowning in color. Each piece felt like staring into someone's nightmare. These are insane, she admitted. They're grief. His voice went quiet. Every single one. She looked up. What are you grieving? My sister. Overdose. 3 years ago. The coffee arrived. Neither of them touched it. I'm sorry, Maya whispered. Don't be. I'm the one who wasn't there when she needed me. He took his phone back. I was too busy building my career. Making money. Proving everyone wrong about me. That's not your fault. Isn't it? His jaw tightened. She called me that night. I was at some art show, networking, and I sent her to voicemail. Found out the next morning. Maya's chest ached. Asher. So when I broke your camera, and you said it was your brother's, I saw her face. I saw every person I've failed. He finally met her eyes. That's why I care. That's why I need to make this right. Rain started falling. Gentle at first, then harder. Other people fled inside. They stayed. I can't fix your camera, Asher continued. But I know someone who restores vintage equipment. The best in the city. Let me connect you. Why are you doing this? Because maybe if I can help you save something that matters, it'll mean I'm not completely broken. Maya's phone buzzed. A text from her roommate Jenna. Girl, where are you? That gallery owner just called. They want to feature your work. Call me. Her heart stopped. I have to go. Maya, wait. She stood, grabbing her bag. Thank you. For the coffee and the contact. I appreciate it. Can I see you again? Why would you want to? Because you're the first person in 3 years who's looked at me like I'm not a paycheck or a connection. You looked at me like I'm just a person who messed up. The rain soaked through her jacket. She should say no. Should walk away from this beautiful, broken stranger who carried the same weight she did. Friday. 7 p.m., there's a poetry open mic in the East Village. Come if you want. I'll be there. Maya turned and walked away, and didn't see the shadow watching them from the building across the street. Didn't see the woman in the expensive suit taking photos on her phone, a cruel smile cutting across her face. Didn't know that Asher Kane wasn't just a digital artist. He was heir to Kane Industries, worth $300 million, and the subject of a very dangerous game. The open mic venue was packed, smelling like spilled beer and teenage rebellion. Fairy lights tangled across exposed brick walls, and the stage was just a wooden platform barely bigger than a yoga mat. Maya wore her brother's old flannel shirt over a black bodysuit and ripped jeans, her hair down for once, silver rings on every finger. She'd performed here dozens of times, but tonight her hands wouldn't stop shaking. Asher arrived exactly at 7 wearing all black, hoodie, jeans, Chelsea boots. He looked like he belonged in a moody music video, not a dive bar in the East Village. You actually came. Maya handed him a beer. I said I would. They found a spot near the back. 3 poets went up before Maya's name got called. She climbed onto the stage, adjusted the microphone, and let the words pour out. Raw. Honest. About losing her brother, about carrying his camera like a talisman, about feeling like she was drowning in a world that kept spinning without him. When she finished, the room went silent. Then erupted in applause. She found Asher in the crowd. He was staring at her like she'd just cracked open his chest and read his secrets. Later, they sat on the curb outside, sharing cheap cigarettes neither of them really smoked. That was beautiful, Asher said. It was true. Same thing sometimes. A black car pulled up across the street. Tinted windows. Engine running. Do you know that car? Maya asked. Asher tensed. We should go inside. What's wrong? Nothing. Just paranoid. But his eyes stayed locked on the vehicle. The passenger window rolled down. A woman stepped out. Mid-40s, power suit, heels that could murder someone. Her blonde hair was pulled back so tight it looked painful. Asher Kane. Her voice carried across the street. Done playing poor? He stood. Victoria. What are you doing here? Making sure you remember our agreement. She walked toward them, heels clicking like a countdown. Who's your little friend? None of your business. Victoria looked at Maya like she was a stain on expensive carpet. Does she know who you really are? Maya stood too. I'm right here. Oh honey. Victoria's smile was venomous. You have no idea what you've walked into. Victoria, leave. Not until you come home. Your father's getting impatient. The board meeting is in 3 days. I told him I'm not doing it. And I told you that you don't have a choice. She pulled out her phone, showed him something on the screen. Remember this? Asher's face went white. You wouldn't. Test me. Maya grabbed his arm. Asher, what's she talking about? He pulled away. Maya, go home. What? This doesn't concern you. Just go. Are you serious right now? Victoria laughed. Cold. Sharp. Oh, this is delicious. She actually thought you were slumming it by choice. Shut up, Asher snapped. Tell her the truth. Tell her why you're really here, hiding in dive bars and pretending to be an artist. Tell her about the trust fund, the scandal, the fact that you're only playing rebel because daddy's giving you 6 months to find yourself before he cuts you off completely. Maya stepped back. Is that true? It's more complicated than that. Is it true? He looked at her, and she saw the answer in his eyes before he spoke. Yes. The world tilted. So this whole thing. The coffee, the camera, the I understand your pain act. That was all what? Entertainment? No. Maya, I swear. Don't. She held up her hand. Don't you dare. Everything I told you was real. My sister, the grief, all of it. But you lied about who you are. I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you everything. Victoria was enjoying this way too much. For what it's worth, sweetheart, you were exactly his type. Damaged. Artistic. Easy to manipulate. Maya punched her. Not hard. Just enough to wipe that smile off her face. The street erupted into chaos. Victoria screaming. Asher pulling Maya back. The black car's doors opening. Run, Asher said. What? Maya, run. Now. They ran. Through back alleys and side streets, his hand gripping hers, both of them breathing hard. They finally stopped in a parking garage 5 blocks away, collapsing against a concrete pillar. I'm sorry, Asher gasped. I'm so sorry. Who is she? My father's lawyer. She's been tracking me since I left. Why? He looked at her. Really looked at her. Because I'm worth $300 million, and I signed it all away. Every penny. To a foundation for addiction recovery in my sister's name. Maya's brain short-circuited. You what? I gave it up. All of it. That's why Victoria's hunting me. My father's trying to prove I'm mentally incompetent so he can take it back. That's insane. That's my family. They sat in silence. Car alarms echoed in the distance. I should have told you, Asher whispered. From the beginning. Yeah. You should have. Are you going to leave? Maya looked at him. At this boy wearing expensive clothes and carrying impossible grief. At the stranger who'd broken her camera and somehow broken through her walls. I don't know yet. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number, nice punch. But you just made a very powerful enemy. Watch your back. She showed Asher the screen. His face went dark. This is my fault. What do we do? We? He looked at her, surprised. I hit a lawyer. I'm in this now whether I like it or not. Maya stood, brushing off her jeans. So what's the plan? Asher stood too. Slowly. Like he couldn't believe what he was hearing. You're staying? I'm staying. For now. But if you lie to me again, I'm gone. Deal. Good. Now tell me everything. And in that parking garage, under flickering fluorescent lights, Asher Kane told Maya Chen the truth about his fortune, his family, and the war he'd been fighting for 3 years. He didn't tell her about the contract Victoria had shown him. He didn't tell her about the clause that said if he formed any romantic attachments, his father could use it to prove emotional instability. He didn't tell her that by staying, she'd just become a target. Some truths, he thought, she didn't need to know yet. 3 weeks later, Maya's world exploded. She was in her apartment in Bushwick, the one with peeling paint and a radiator that only worked on Tuesdays. Morning light cut through her curtains as she scrolled through her phone, wearing Asher's stolen hoodie and boxer shorts. They'd spent every day together since the parking garage. Late-night diners and rooftop conversations. Him teaching her about digital art, her teaching him about film photography. They hadn't labeled it. Hadn't kissed. Just existed in this weird, beautiful in-between space. Her phone buzzed. An email from the gallery owner. Maya, we need to talk. Call me ASAP. She called. Maya, I'm pulling your show. Her blood went cold. What? Why? I received some information about your connection to Asher Kane. I can't have that kind of controversy attached to my gallery. What information? Photos of you two together. And a very detailed email about his family's legal battles. I'm sorry, but I have to protect my business. The call ended. Maya sat there, numb, as her phone exploded with notifications. Instagram tags. Twitter mentions. Her name attached to headlines she'd never asked for. Kane Ayer's secret girlfriend. Is this mystery woman after his fortune? Billionaire family drama, the artist and the opportunist. Someone knocked on her door. She opened it. Asher stood there, still in yesterday's clothes, eyes wild. Maya, I can explain. Explain what? That you just cost me my show? My career? That wasn't me. Then who? Victoria. She leaked everything. The photos, the story, all of it. Maya laughed. Bitter. Sharp. Of course she did. And you didn't think to warn me this might happen? I didn't think she'd go this far. You didn't think. She stepped back. That's the problem, Asher. You never think about anyone but yourself. That's not fair. Fair? Her voice cracked. My entire reputation is destroyed. Every gallery in the city will blacklist me. Everyone thinks I'm some gold digger using you for money. We'll fix this. How? You can't buy your way out of this one. Maya, please. Get out. What? Get out. He stared at her like she'd stabbed him. You said you'd stay. That was before you ruined my life. I didn't mean for this to happen. But it did. Tears burned in her eyes. Because of you. Because I was stupid enough to believe you were different. Asher's phone rang. He ignored it. It rang again. Answer it, Maya said. I'm sure it's important. He answered. Listened. His face went gray. When? Where is she now? I'm on my way. He hung up. I have to go. Of course you do. Maya, that was the hospital. Victoria's been in an accident. She's in surgery. Despite everything, Maya's anger faltered. Is she okay? I don't know. The car flipped on the FDR. They said she was texting while driving. He grabbed his jacket. I'm sorry. I have to go deal with this. Then go. He turned at the door. I know you hate me right now. But I need you to know something. What? Everything between us was real. Every word, every moment. I wasn't using you. That's what makes it worse. He left. Maya slid down the wall, buried her face in her knees, and finally let herself cry. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Check your email. I think you'll find it interesting. V. With shaking hands, Maya opened her email. A new message from Victoria's account. Inside was a video file and a document. She clicked the video first. It showed Asher and Victoria in what looked like a law office. The timestamp was from 6 weeks ago. Before the gallery. Before the broken camera. Before everything. I need you to find someone, Asher said on the video. Someone damaged. Someone artistic. Someone who won't ask too many questions. Why? Victoria asked. Because I need to prove to my father that I can maintain a stable relationship. That I'm not emotionally unstable. If I can show him I'm capable of normal human connection, he can't use my grief against me. You want me to find you a girlfriend. I want you to find me someone believable. Someone real. And when you're done using her, I'll handle it. Victoria's voice turned cold. This is cruel, Asher. This is survival. The video ended. Maya couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Couldn't process what she'd just seen. She opened the document. A contract. Between Asher and his father. Dated 2 months ago. If party agrees to demonstrate emotional stability and maintain a documented relationship for a minimum of 3 months, party will retain control of trust fund and foundation. Her hands shook so hard she dropped her phone. The broken camera. The coffee. The open mic. The parking garage. Every single moment had been a lie. He'd planned all of it. Used her. Made her believe she mattered. She threw up in the kitchen sink. When she could breathe again, she grabbed her jacket, her brother's camera, now repaired, courtesy of Asher's contact, and left her apartment. She walked for hours. Through Brooklyn, across the bridge, into Manhattan. The city blurred around her. She ended up at the hospital. Don't know why. Just ended up there. Found Asher in the waiting room, head in his hands. He looked up when she walked in. Maya. She threw the phone at him. Is it real? He caught it. Looked at the screen. His face crumbled. Where did you get this? Victoria sent it. Before the accident. Maya, let me explain. Is it real? The video is real. The contract is real. But what happened after isn't. You used me. At first, yes. He stood. I'm not going to lie to you anymore. That's how it started. Victoria was supposed to find someone for me to date. Someone to prove to my father I was stable. But then I broke your camera by accident. Actual accident. And I saw you, and I saw myself, and everything changed. I don't believe you. I fell in love with you. His voice cracked. That wasn't part of the plan. That wasn't supposed to happen. Maya's vision blurred. Don't say that. It's true. You don't get to say that to me. Not after this. A doctor came out. Family of Victoria Hayes? Asher turned. That's me. She's stable. The surgery went well. But she's asking to speak with someone named Maya? They both froze. Why would she want to talk to me? Maya asked. The doctor shrugged. She was pretty insistent. Said it was important. Maya looked at Asher. At this beautiful liar who'd stolen her heart and shattered it in the same breath. I'll go, she said. Maya, you don't have to. Yeah. I do. She followed the doctor down the hallway, leaving Asher in the waiting room, and had no idea that Victoria's hospital bed would hold the final piece of the puzzle. The piece that would change everything. Victoria looked smaller in the hospital bed. Bruised. Broken. Almost human. You came, she whispered. Maya stood in the doorway. You asked for me. I did. Victoria coughed, winced. Closed the door. Maya did. I'm dying, Victoria said. Internal bleeding they can't stop. I have maybe an hour. I don't understand why you wanted to see me. Because I owe you the truth. Victoria's eyes were clear despite the pain. The video I sent you. It's real. But it's not the whole story. I don't want to hear excuses for him. This isn't about him. It's about me. She pressed a button, morphine dripping into her fore. I've been in love with Asher since he was 17. Watched him grow up. Watched him fall apart after his sister died. And I watched him choose you. Maya's chest tightened. What? The contract was my idea. I convinced his father it was necessary. I found you specifically because I knew you'd break his heart. You're lying. I wish I was. Victoria pulled out her phone, hands shaking. I crashed the car on purpose. I was sending you that video, and I just kept driving. Straight into the barrier. Because if I couldn't have him, I wanted to make sure you couldn't either. Maya felt sick. That's psychotic. That's love. Victoria laughed, wet and broken. But here's the thing. That video I sent you? I edited it. Cut out the part where Asher refused. Where he told me he'd never manipulate someone like that. Where he said if he couldn't prove himself honestly, he didn't deserve the money. What are you saying? I'm saying I staged everything. The gallery. The leaked photos. The contract. I forged his signature, made it look like he was using you. Victoria coughed blood. And then I broke your camera on purpose. Followed you to that show. Paid someone to bump into you. Made sure Asher would be there to see it happen. Maya's legs gave out. She sat hard in the chair next to the bed. You orchestrated all of it? Every single moment. Victoria's breathing was getting worse. Because I knew if he met you, if he felt what I saw in your photos, he'd fall. And then I could destroy it. Destroy him. Why are you telling me this? Because I'm dying, and I'm tired of being the villain. She pressed something into Maya's hand. A USB drive. Everything's on here. The real video. The forged documents. Proof of what I did. Give it to him. Let him hate me instead of himself. Victoria. I loved him wrong. Tears slid down her bruised face. I loved him until it turned into poison. Don't do what I did. Don't let your pain win. Machines started beeping. Nurses rushed in. Maya was pushed into the hallway as Victoria's room filled with chaos. She stood there, USB drive burning in her palm, and finally understood the weight of loving someone damaged. Asher found her an hour later. Still in the hallway. Still holding the drive. She's gone, he said quietly. I know. Maya, I'm sorry. For everything. For the contract, for not telling you the truth, for dragging you into my mess. She looked at him. Really looked at him. At the boy who'd lost his sister and found a monster in his grief. At the stranger who'd broken her camera and rebuilt something inside her she thought was dead. She loved you, Maya said. What? Victoria. She was in love with you. This whole thing, it was all her. She forged the contract. She broke my camera. She leaked everything. Maya held up the drive. It's all here. Asher took it, scrolled through the files, and his face went white. Oh my God. She used both of us. Maya, I swear I didn't know. I believe you. He looked at her, shocked. You do? Yeah. She wiped her eyes. I do. Because I've seen you. The real you. Under all the money and the trauma and the walls. And that person wouldn't do this. I fell in love with you, he said again. I need you to know that. Everything after that gallery was real. I know. You do? Yeah. She stepped closer. I fell in love with you too. Even when I hated you. Even when I wanted to run. So what do we do now? Maya thought about her ruined career. About the headlines and the judgment and the fact that her life would never be simple again. She thought about her brother. About the camera. About the way grief had made her smaller, quieter, less. She thought about this broken boy with golden eyes who'd seen her pain and matched it with his own. We choose, she said. We choose to be honest. We choose to be messy. We choose each other even when it's hard. That's terrifying. Everything worth having is. Asher smiled. Soft. Real. I have to go back home. Face my father. Deal with Victoria's estate. I know. Come with me. What? Come with me. Not as some fake girlfriend or proof of stability. Come with me because I don't want to do this alone. He took her hand. I'm done running. I'm done hiding. I want to fight for the foundation, for my sister's legacy, for us. But I need you there. Maya looked at their joined hands. At the silver chain around her neck. At the broken camera bag over her shoulder. Okay, she whispered. Yeah. Yeah. But we do this my way. No more lies. No more secrets. We go in there and tell your father the truth. About Victoria, about us, about everything. He'll try to destroy you. Let him try. They left the hospital together as the sun rose over Manhattan, gold and pink bleeding across the skyline. 3 months later, Maya's photos were featured in the New York Times. A series about love and grief and the way broken things can heal each other. Asher's digital art hung next to them in a joint exhibition called Collisions. The foundation in his sister's name grew. His father's lawsuit failed. They moved into an apartment in Brooklyn with big windows and terrible heat. Fought about dishes and money and whose turn it was to take out the trash. On their anniversary, Asher took her to the warehouse where they'd met. Had it rented for the night. Empty except for string lights and a speaker playing jazz. "Dance with me?" he asked. Maya smiled. "Always." They moved across the floor, two broken people who'd found something whole in the wreckage. And somewhere in the city, in the spaces between heartbeats and camera shutters, grief learned to coexist with joy. Love learned to coexist with pain. And two strangers learned that sometimes the worst collisions create the most beautiful art. The end.